I could literally write a book full of excuses I've heard my small business owning friends give for why they don't want to ask their customers for reviews. But today I've got 3 things you can do to make it easy to ask your customers for more reviews. Welcome to 5-Minute Social Media. If you've watched my videos before, welcome back. If not, thank you for checking it out. This is where I teach you how to do the best possible social media in the least amount of time, primarily targeting people that are busy because you're busy running a nonprofit or a small business or a small brand. So let's get into reviews today. Reviews are important, yet I've had several small business owning friends tell me, oh, well, I don't want to bother my customers, or what if they say no, or I lost their email address, which is clearly a lie, or you're terrible at business. But you're not asking them on a date, you're just asking them to leave you a review. Today I'm going to cover 3 ways to do that and make it much, much easier so it doesn't feel like quite as much of an ask, so you won't feel like you're bothering them. By the way, all 3 of these tactics are tactics I've seen in practice, and they work great for multiple sizes and types of businesses, brands, industries, so I'm sure they'll work for you as well. Now, first of all, why do you need customer reviews? Well, now we are living in the age of social proof. I know that's kind of a buzzword, but the fact of the matter is people expect you to have social proof for your brand now. In fact, people are 71% more likely to buy a product or invest in something if they've seen it recommended on social media. So there's the why. Another thing I want to mention before we get into the 3 tactics is you have to do a good job for your customers. The day and age of being able to just run along and do mediocre business and stay in business for 20 years, that's over. And it's getting harder and harder than ever, again, because of social proof. So if you already don't do an amazing job for your customers, don't even bother watching the rest of this video because they're not going to leave good reviews anyway. A few other things to consider. You may want to focus on certain review sites for your industry. For example, for 5-Minute Social Media, I probably want to focus on Facebook reviews and maybe Google reviews. Meanwhile, Angie's List, probably not that important. Yelp, also less important depending on where this happens to go. You also want to make sure not to try and game the system. Yelp has penalized people numerous times. For a long time, companies would ask people to leave reviews while they were there on site at the business, like at a restaurant, and then Yelp noticed, wait, all these reviews are coming from the same IP address, the same internet location, and they shut that down. So just go about it honestly. Make sure you don't ever incentivize people to leave a review. Like, hey, if you leave me a good review, I'll leave you a good review, or I'll give you a free dessert, or anything like that. Because as soon as you stop doing that, then someone else will find out, well, they got a free dessert, I'm leaving them a bad review now. Plus, that's another one that Yelp specifically has been known to penalize you for if they find out you're incentivizing people to leave reviews. And experiment with different language. Figure out what works for your audience or your customers or clients. Maybe you don't want to ask for reviews, but you want to ask for online feedback. Online feedback feels a little bit more neutral, like, hey, I'm just trying to grow and improve, so maybe you could leave me some online feedback. I would appreciate it. Now, the 3 tactics you can use to get way more reviews for your business, now that we've established that it is very important that you do that in order to grow. The first one, be a human. Just ask person to person. Yes, they are an individual customer or client, and you are a brand or business, but your brand or business is made up of people. Heck, you might be the only people in your business. So just ask them, hey, listen, if you wouldn't mind, it seems like you were happy with your service. Would you mind leaving me a review? It really helps my business grow and makes a big difference, and I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Again, you might want to play with the verbiage there. You may have some people that are like, well, I don't want to help your business grow so you can buy a yacht. So then you may want to say, helps me keep food on the table and feed my family. You figure it out per client if you need to. You can even say some dork on YouTube said it was a good idea or a stupid idea not to ask for reviews. So you can blame me if you want to, whatever it takes. Of course, only ask people that you think had a really good experience with you. Don't ask everybody. Second tactic or tip to get more reviews online, make it a part of your storyline from the beginning. So the first time you meet with a new potential client or customer, sit down and say, hey, listen, when this is all over, I want you to be so happy, so elated with the service that you got from me or from my company that you can't wait to tell family and friends and go online and leave 5-star reviews and whatever else. That's how happy that I want you to be. I'm not saying you need to do that at the end, but that's how happy I want you to be. So if at any time during this process you don't feel like you're getting 5-star service, please say something to me. Let me know, because I want to make it right. First of all, it shows that you care, or at least you're pretending to care. But this does two things for you. One, it puts the idea of recommending or referring you to other people in their head from the beginning. And two, it lets them know that if they do have an issue along the way, to bring it up. Otherwise, passive-aggressive people will just say nothing until it's over and your dishwasher's installed or they get their wedding photographs back or whatever, and then they'll go online and leave you a nasty review instead of actually letting you take care of it before that point. And then keep mentioning that throughout the storyline, throughout your customer's journey with you. Now, if it's a one-day interaction with them and that's all you get, then maybe it's only mentioning it a couple times. But if this is over the course of weeks or months, you're a real estate agent, for example, every once in a while, hey, I just wanted to check in. Everything going okay? Because remember, at the end, I'm hoping that you will think that you had 5-star service. Keep putting that in their head. 5-star service. So is everything okay? Everything's good? Great. And the third tactic to make sure that you get more great reviews for your brand or business, make it as easy as possible for them. Send them an email with the links to the review service directly to your page so they can leave their reviews that way. Now, I wouldn't ask via email unless your whole relationship has been via email. Try and ask them in person and say, hey, later today, I'm going to send you an email with all of the review sites. Pick one, I'd be so honored, and then use the tactics that we talked about earlier, help me feed my family, whatever it might be for you. 3 tactics to get more great online reviews, and finally, one very important thing. This might backfire sometime. You may ask a customer for an online review that you think had a good experience, turns out they didn't. Or they're the kind of customer that doesn't give anybody more than 2 stars. That's okay. Don't be discouraged by that. Don't make that go, okay, well, I'm not asking anymore because this guy gave me 2 stars and he had great service. Use that to motivate yourself to get more good reviews from other people to balance it out. So those are my 3 tips and tricks. What have you got? What's worked for you? You got something? Or maybe you tried one of these. Let me know how it worked, even if it didn't, in the comments down below. Let's keep the conversation going. Help me out, help others out here in the 5-Minute Social Media community. Also, give this video a like if you got something out of it, and click subscribe. That really helps me out as well. Here, there I am. I'm asking you to subscribe. I'm not asking for a review, but if you could click subscribe and then click the bell so you get notified when I put out new videos, because I'm all about teaching you how to do the best possible social media in the least amount of time.